What if I tell you that just one essay question in the PTE exam can now decide whether you score 85 in writing and ultimately whether you qualify for superior English points for your permanent residency application? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to analyze an essay question, how the essay is scored, and how to plan your ideas, and finally, how to write a high-scoring essay step by step. I will also demonstrate the full process using a real exam question from Pearson's question bank. Before we get into today's video, let me quickly introduce myself for those of you who are new to this channel. My name is Rashid. I am a Pearson certified professional PTE trainer and the founder of ACE Language. I have been teaching PTE since 2015, and over the years, I have helped thousands of students achieve their required PTE score for study, work, and permanent residency. ACE Language is not just a coaching center. We are a result-driven PTE training platform focused on strategy, scoring logic, and examiner expectations, especially after the recent PTE changes. Everything I teach here is based on real exam experience, updated scoring rules, and what actually works in today's PTE exam. If your goal is to secure a high PTE score, particularly for migration purposes, then you are in the right place. Now, let's get into today's lesson. Let's first understand what PTE Write Essay actually is. PTE Write Essay is the second question type of the PTE writing module. You will get only one essay in the entire exam. You have 20 minutes to plan, write, and check your response. Your essay must be between 200 and 300 words. And this question type contributes only to the writing score. After the August changes, it now contributes 30.8% of the total writing score, which is roughly about 25 marks out of your 80 marks available. This is also the reason why essay writing has become extremely important. Before August, the essay contributed only around 17 to 19%. Now it contributes more than 30%. On top of that, the writing score required for superior English points, that is 20 PR points, has increased. Previously, you needed only 79 in writing, just like the other modules. But now you need 85. That makes essay writing non-negotiable. Now, let's talk about how your essay is scored. It's important that you understand that. Each essay carries a total of 26 marks divided into 7 criteria. These criteria are content, form, development, structure and coherence, grammar, general linguistic range, vocabulary range, and spelling. Among these, content, development, structure and coherence, and general linguistic range are reviewed by a human expert before your final score is confirmed. Content is the most critical criterion. It checks whether you have addressed the topic properly. If your essay is off topic, you'll receive a 0, not only in content, but in all 7 criteria. The best essays always stay on topic, answer the question directly, and support arguments with relevant explanations and examples. Development, structure, and coherence focus on how well your ideas are organized. A high-scoring essay always has a clear introduction, body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Ideas should flow logically, and transitions between paragraphs must be smooth. Form is very straightforward, but can be very deadly. If your essay is between 200 and 300 words, you will get full 2 out of 2 in form. If you write fewer than 200 words, that is around 120, or between 120 to 199 or 301 to 380, you will get 1 point. But if you write less than 120 or more than 380, your entire essay score will become 0. General linguistic range checks how precisely you express your ideas. This indicates your ability to use complex sentences, avoid ambiguity, and communicate clearly and academically. Grammar, vocabulary, and spelling together check accuracy, range, and consistency. You must use one single spelling convention consistently. It can be American, Australian, British, or any other convention that you can think of. Now, let's talk about how to write a perfect essay. You must always write 4 paragraphs: an introduction, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and a conclusion. In your introduction, you need 3 things: a general statement where you restate the question in your own words, of course. Second is a neutral opinion that allows room to discuss both sides. And third, a preview of the opposing and supporting ideas that you will discuss in the body paragraphs. In any of these sentences, you don't need to be too elaborative. In body paragraph 1, you will mostly write about one topic, or if there is only one topic, you will write about the opposing idea. Start with a very clear topic sentence that states your position for this paragraph and the reason behind it. Then explain that idea in the next sentence. Finally, give one relevant example to support your point. In body paragraph 2, you will mostly do the same thing. But in this case, if it is a one topic essay, you will write a supporting idea of that topic. And you follow the same structure: a topic, a support, and an example. In the conclusion, you must mention both sides again and maintain a neutral stance. You do not need to agree strongly or disagree strongly in favor or against anything. And before you write an essay, you must analyze the question properly. You should take about a minute to identify the keywords and understand the question. Then take about 2 minutes to write down the main idea and supporting idea for each body paragraph. After that, spend about 14 to 15 minutes to write the essay itself and keep final 2 to 3 minutes for checking the spelling and the word count. Remember, spelling is very important. And if you are someone like me who make a lot of spelling mistakes, you need to be extra careful. Now, I'm gonna demonstrate writing one essay from Pearson's question bank, and you can follow along, or you can just clearly watch carefully and then try it with one of your essays. Now, whenever we get an essay question, the first thing we should really focus on is identifying the keywords. You may be wondering, what are the keywords? Keywords are those words without which an essay or any essay question will not make any sense. If I look at this question in front of me, it says, when recruiting new staff, is it more important for a company to look at a candidate's academic qualifications or his or her personality and ability to work with others? Now, in this particular question, the first thing that comes to my mind is recruiting new staff, because that's what I want to do. I want to recruit new staff for my business. If I want to do that, what are the ways I can follow? Right? This is the question itself. Now, let me just mark them down as bold to identify that they are actually my keywords. Just so you know, I know you know that, but I'm just reiterating. In your exam, you won't have this luxury, right, of identifying bold, making it bold or italic or anything. you should do that on your notepad, or you can just do it in your mind if you train yourself good enough. Now, next thing is, what are the ways, right? One of the way that, according to this question, is academic qualifications. Another one is personality and ability to work with others. So these are the keywords that this particular question is saying that I need to look at. Now, if I analyze this question carefully, I can understand one thing very simply, that I want to recruit newer staff. That is my topic. Whereas my subtopic is, how do I want to recruit newer staff? Number one is candidates' academic qualifications, and number two is by that particular candidate's personality to work with others. That is, for him or her being a team player. So these will be my topics, subtopics, to be honest. So in these types of essays, which are obviously argumentative essays, I recommend my students to write about one topic, one subtopic in one paragraph. You can write about academic qualification in one particular paragraph, positively or negatively, or in another paragraph, you can write about personality and ability to work as a team, both positively and negatively. Absolutely fine. But there are those essay questions that only have one point of view. For example, if the same essay question would have been phrased in this way: when recruiting new staff, what is more important for a company? That's it, done. So in those cases, what happens is you can just think about one particular topic. In this particular case, you can definitely say, all right, look, I think qualifications are important. Then you can write about what are the negative things of hiring employees only by qualifications in one paragraph. And in another paragraph, you can write about what are the positive things of hiring a new employee only by qualification. I hope I made myself clear. So whenever I have two clear subtopics, I will try to address them. Now, as we are just in the planning stage, and I have already figured out what are my keywords and what are my topics, I will now try to create my ideas. What I will have to do is to create one main idea, one supporting idea, and an example. But at the planning stage, I don't really need to focus on all three things. I will quickly ask myself why and how, or in which way, right? How will they work? So basically, I can see my topic is recruiting new staff, and I can write about why recruiting new staff based on candidates' academic qualification is important. So that why is my answer. So I can clearly say, look, for some occupations, candidates' academic qualification actually talks volume of their ability. For example, if you don't want to go to a doctor who didn't go to medical school, do you? So it's a very simple strategy here that I can think of. All right, so I can say academic qualification is needed for some professions. So that is my why. And I will just keep one line or one line gap here and go to the next bit. And next thing is personality and ability to work as a team. These days, many companies, what do they do is simply they would like to, rather than hire one particular expert, some team players in many as who can play many roles together, right? So I can say definitely some organizations uh, mostly or want more team player, right? Um, right. That's very simple, right? You can think, oh, that simple. Yes, that's simple. Just keep it that simple. Next up is thinking about supporting idea. If I want to think about supporting idea, I will think of how or in which way. I'm saying, like, academic qualifications are needed for some professions. Really? How are they needed, or in which way are they needed, right? I can definitely say, doctors in medical centers, and maybe engineers in construction projects. Right, done. And I can think about some organizations want more team players because, at the end of the day, how well you can blend in with the team. That may be just a simple supporting idea. Obviously, when I'm going to write in more academic and more elaborative way, right? Next up is, now that I have my plan, so I've decided in one paragraph I'm going to write about why I should recruit new staff based on candidates' academic qualification, and in another paragraph I'm going to write about why I should hire or recruit a new staff based on their personality and ability to work. Now I'm going to write introduction. The first thing that you should write in any introduction is a general statement. A general statement is simply restating the question. Now, my question here is, when recruiting new staff, is it more important for a company to look at a candidate's academic qualifications or his or her personality and ability to work with others? At this stage, I don't want you to write something totally new, right? What you should do rather is just rephrase this question in a way that carries the same meaning and most of the keywords, as well as you don't really need to overthink anything, right? So if I have to do it, I might just write this one. When organizations recruit, recruit new employees, they often debate whether academic qualifications or interpersonal skills should be given more importance, or you can also write priorities. Now, what you can see here is a simple restatement of the question itself, right? Instead of saying when organizations hire new staff, I'm keeping that particular thing almost intact, but instead of staff, I am saying employees, and then they often debate whether academic. I'm not really asking in a question tone that is it important or not. I'm just saying they often debate whether academic qualifications, rather than saying candidates' academic qualifications, or instead of personality, I'm saying interpersonal skills should be given more importance. A very simple general statement to start our question. So there goes your first sentence of introduction. In the first sentence of your introduction, always start with a general statement, that is a restatement of the question itself. So now that we learned how to write the first sentence of an introduction, that is a general statement, the next step is to give an opinion. Now, to give an opinion, you have to understand that in PTE test, you don't really need to give a very strong opinion like other English tests in the market, and then you have to really support it or really oppose it. In PT, we keep it mostly neutral, right? So in this case, I can say, look, some experts have opinion that candidates' academic qualifications are important, whereas other experts say candidates' academic qualifications, personality is more important, right? Like, let's write something down in this line. So I'm starting with a discourse marker. Why formal education demonstrates so I'm thinking of candidates situation demonstrates, my bad, my spelling is always poor, demonstrates candidates technical knowledge. So I'm just saying that formal education demonstrate the technical knowledge, and now I'm saying personality and the ability to collaborate with others also play a crucial role. Role in workplace success. So, done with my opinion. So, I've got my general statement, which is the restatement of the question and the opinion itself. Now, the next step is my preview. Now, here, a lot of students try to complicate, they try to really talk about what they're gonna say in body one and body two. I keep it very simple. I am a big supporter of keeping it very simple. I'll just simply say this as will elaborate both sides before reaching to a reasoned conclusion, right? Just to keep it very, very simple, right? So I will just say this essay will examine both perspectives before reaching to a reasonable conclusion. So my reasonable spelling is wrong. Reasonable conclusion. Right. See, still wrong. I'm pretty poor with my spelling all the time. So that's my introduction. Now, in body paragraph one, remember we already decided that we're going to write about the academic qualification, and we're going to focus on why academic qualification is needed for some professions and how are they used in organizations' day-to-day activity, right? So keeping them in mind, I'm going to start with a discourse marker, and then I'm going to directly state my main idea or the topic sentence in this case, right? So I can start with on the one hand. So this is a quite neutral starting. In this way, I can write negative, I can write positive. I don't really need to change anything here, right? So I can say, I can start with my keywords here, academic qualifications are essential because they indicate a candidate's theoretical understanding and professional journey. Right, I see my candidate qualificates is wrong, so I'll just fix it. Qualifications are essential. So I'm just saying, why am I writing about this particular topic? Because I believe candidates' technical understanding and professional journey can be understood by academic qualification. And then I will have to provide a supporting idea, that is, how or in which way. Now, let's talk about what we discussed earlier, right? In some specialized professions like being a doctor, being an engineer, you would like the candidate to have that technical know-how, right? So I can say many roles, particularly in fields of engineering, medicine, and so on, require specialized knowledge that can only be obtained via academic qualifications. So I'm just simply saying many roles, for example, in the field of engineering or medicine and so on, require someone to have academic qualifications, because that's how you can actually gain those knowledge. You can't just, get it out of anywhere else, right? So this is my explanation sentence or supporting idea, however you would like to put it, right? Now, the best practice here is to provide an example at this stage, and the example will be more of a supporting, more of proving what I have just said in the previous two sentences, right? So I can start with discourse marker, like for example, for instance, as an illustration to demonstrate however I would like to say, I'll just keep it simple. I can say, for example, a civil engineer without a recognized qualification. My bad again. Qualification, and as you can see, my recognized spelling was pretty horrible. So I'll just move on. Recognized qualification may lack the technical, my bad, technical expertise needed to ensure safety when she or he works in a civil engineering project. A very simple uh, example. I'm just saying that, look, if you do not have the qualification, you'll lose lack the technical know-how, and that thus jeopardizing the safety of a project, right? It's done. Now in body paragraph 2, that's the end of my body 1. It's that simple. In body paragraph 2, what I do is write about the other side of the topic. In this case, I'm going to write about interpersonal ability to work, which make me work as a good team worker, right? That's what I'm going to write about. So I can start with on the other hand. Now, again, this is a very clever way to just write something opposing or something different than body 1. Now, in body 1, I did not write anything negative. I did not write anything supporting or opposing. I just simply said, look, there are good things about hiring someone by qualifications because some occupations need a specialized knowledge. And I gave example. Now, by saying that, on the other hand, that means I'm going to write about something else. Now, in this format, I'm able to write negative, positive. I'm able to write positive, positive. I'm able to also write negative, negative, right? If you want to do that. Now, let me write the first sentence. So here I'm going to write about how interpersonal skills are very important because most of the companies these days want someone who can work collaboratively or as part of a team, right? So I can say personality, let's start with personality. Personality and teamwork still are increasingly valued in modern workplaces. Right, so very simple. My main idea here is teamwork and personality, ability to work as a team or personality is very important in modern workplaces. Now I'm going to give a supporting idea or an explanation of what I just said, maybe by explaining it with how and in which way, right? So in how and which way, if I think about it really carefully, I can think about that companies now also operate not only in physical form but also in online form, which makes collaboration even more important. Um, Obviously, we can talk about also how a company can also work in a segmented way or departmentalized way, and each department needs to play their role. I mean, I don't need that many things, but I can think in these ways, right? So let's write about how online things can make collaboration more essential, right? So companies now operate in collaborative, my bad again, collaborative and online environment where team members communication skill and ability to delegate works play a very crucial role. Again, crucial role. So that's it. So I'm just saying that all right, companies now operate in collaborative and online environment where team members' communication skill and ability to delegate work should be work, not works, work properly, properly play a very crucial role. That's it. That's my explanation or supporting idea or whatever you'd like to call it. Right. Next is I'm going to write an example. If I have to write an example again, I'm going to start with a discourse marker. Right. I used already, for example, so I can say as an illustration. So what can I put as an illustration here? Right. I can easily talk about how uh, technically skilled employees who cannot really collaborate well may not help other team members to complete a task, right? Okay. So as an illustration, a technically sound team member with below average communication skill will be unable to collaborate and thus will keep the project in an incomplete state. That's my example. So I'm just saying technically sound team member obviously happens. We have also seen that a lot of good students with better results sometimes struggle with their communication. That's why there is this saying, good students always do not make best of the teachers. Just because someone scores well doesn't mean that that particular person will teach also well, because teaching is more of communication skills. Right, keeping that in mind, that's the end of my body paragraph 2. So if you look at my body 1 and body 2, you will see the similarities between them. I came up with a topic sentence where I discussed why am I writing this particular part or part on this particular subtopic. And then I'm giving a supporting idea by explaining how and in which way, right? And eventually I'm giving an example to illustrate both of my main ideas and supporting ideas. Very simple, right? Now I will go to conclusion. In conclusion, again, just like introduction, you don't need to take a very strong side. You just need to restate both of the sides and talk about that both of them are important, both of them have good things, both of them can have bad things if you write that way. In this case, I'll just simply restate both of the ideas and just simply finish it off, right? I can say in conclusion. So again, you can see how I have started this paragraph with a discourse marker in conclusion. You can definitely say at the end, you can definitely say to sum up. Feel free to use different types of discourse markers. I'm just keeping it very simple. In conclusion, while academic qualifications provide necessary, again, see, I have made the same mistake again in terms of my qualifications provide necessary foundation of knowledge, personality and ability to work together or work with others in a team is also equally important, if not more, in the long run. So I'm just saying that, look, obviously, foundation knowledge comes from academic qualification. If not more, it is equally important that a person can work as part of a team, right? And that is more important in the long run, maybe, if you want to say it more important or maybe equally important, right? So that is my first sentence of conclusion, and I'm gonna conclude it by saying that we have to keep both of them in mind, right? So I can clearly say, therefore, so going towards the result. Therefore, employers should, my bad, employers should adopt a balanced approach of hiring uh, technically sound professionals with a mix of uh, team players with great interpersonal abilities. So a very simple thing, just restating everything again. So what should employers do? They should hire team members who are technically sound, that is academically qualified, and they can play their part as part of a team with their interpersonal abilities. And that's it. That's how you write a perfect essay. Obviously, take care of your spelling. Don't make as many spelling mistakes as I made in this particular demonstration. And if you're curious how many words I wrote, I don't think I wrote more than 300 words. Let me check. So I will check. Yep, as you can see, I wrote 241 words, which is quite decent as long as you are writing between 200 to 300 words. If you follow this structure, manage your time properly, and focus on clarity instead of memorization, scoring high in PTE essay writing becomes completely achievable. If you found this video helpful and finally understood how PTE essay writing actually works, make sure you like this video. It really helps the channel to reach more students who are struggling with PTE. Also, share this video with your friends and family members who are preparing for PTE, especially those aiming for superior English points. And most importantly, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications because I regularly upload updated PTE strategies based on the latest exam changes. If you would like personalized guidance and structured preparation, ACE Language offers multiple PTE training options to suit different needs. We provide a 2-week intensive course, 1 month and 2-month comprehensive programs, as well as one-on-one personalized coaching for students who need individual attention. You can contact us from both Bangladesh and Australia. If you are calling from Bangladesh, you can reach us directly at 01889982 and if you're calling from Australia, our contact number is 0456 446 963. You can also email us at info@acepte.com.au for course details, enrollment information, or personalized guidance. All our courses are designed based on the latest PTE format, and we focus heavily on scoring logic, writing performance, speaking fluency, and real exam strategies rather than memorization. If you are serious about PTE score and want expert guidance, feel free to get in touch with us today. Our team will be happy to guide you on the right course based on your timeline and your target score. Happy practicing and stay tuned for the next video.